Hi, let me show you guys how to 1cc Batrider on advanced course. First of all, I'm going to assume that people watching already know some basic things about the game. You have some familiarity with what the game is. Not just that it's a shmup, but that it's a shmup with medals, a rank system, you have an aura, you have a team mechanic, and uh, you know, you have a max livestock of 3, so and stuff like this. So kind of basic familiarity. First of all, you want to get to this screen. I think it's you press F2 in MAME to get here. I think, I don't remember for sure. I'm using Shmup Arc now. In any case, you can absolutely find information on anything related to what I'm talking about at the beginning here on Icarus, I think it is, guide on Shmup's forum. Just search for Armed Police Batrider guide. I can put it in the description as well. You want to get to this screen and press start on the first option here, and that will start the game on minimum rank, and that's what people tend to do in this game. And after that, you want to input some codes. In MAME, you can do it in the dip settings, I think, but in ShmupArc, you kind of have to do it manually. So you want to put on guest characters and stage edit and stuff. So you put in codes here, various codes. It's a bit stressful to try to do this at the start every time, so I just have a save state that already has everything on ShmupArc. Yeah, so we start the game. Advanced course, and here stage edit. Make sure that you have stage edit enabled and that you actually use it, because you do not want airport as your stage 2. That will get you envy as your first stage 5 boss, the highway boss. You can get multiple stage 5 bosses if you have a Batrider character alive on your team and you've got option or shot special level ups. But as long as you don't get those, you will only get one, and that one you get will be determined by which stage you select here as your second stage. So please select Sky High or Sewer first. And I would recommend Sewer because I think Sobit is the easiest boss to do consistently. Blunt kind of depends on what character you have, with how easy it's gonna be, and yeah, Sobit is always the easiest, I think. So Sewer, Sky High, Airport. Next, here we can either choose to make a pre-made team of Batrider characters. Do not do this. Create your own team. If you're feeling adventurous, you can do this, but I would still advise you not to for your first 1cc, unless you just want the extra bit of fun you might have with that. And a random team. Do not use any of these. Select this last option and you can pick a solo character. That's what you want to do. And in my opinion, the main choices to pick between are Shorty, Maria, Strawman, Tag T, Carpet, and if you really want to, you could try another character like Miyamoto, or rig a ship like Baron. But if you're not an amazing shmup player, you can't 1cc games left and right like there's no tomorrow. Most of these games aren't jokes to you. You might want to pick a character that is actually like one of the easiest ones. And the characters in this game are very unbalanced when it comes to survival. They're very unbalanced when it comes to score. They're very unbalanced when it comes to everything. So please select Shorty or Strawman or Maria. Like that, those would be my top 3 picks for this. Carpet, if you think you can handle not having the spread, the homing, or whatever. Absolutely, she's a powerhouse too. Okay, or Tag T if you're feeling a bit like a hipster, because Tag T is basically Shorty except slightly weaker. So Shorty, homing character. What you're really gonna love about Shorty is that her homing missiles are completely insane. Pick her with the C button or the B button. B button will power up your options. C button will power up your options and your shot, but make you slower. And I really like using the C button for survival, because the speed in survival is kind of not that important in this game. being very slow can still handle just about anything on low rank and without any extra hidden bosses or milking strats or anything. Being slow is absolutely fine. But if you do want to be a bit faster, Maria, it might be the character for you, because even picking C-type on Maria, you're still going to be really fast. She's the fastest of all the really strong ships. But she is weaker than Shorty. She doesn't have the same kind of power. She's a spread type character, and she's going to be amazing at dealing with stage portions, but you're going to find that she's going to defeat bosses a lot slower. Although she does make up for this by having an extremely long-lasting powerful bomb. So she's still absolutely top 3 in my book. I just think she's going to be slightly weaker than Shorty and Strawman, because of being weaker when it comes to raw damage. And then Strawman, he's like in between everything I just said. He's a little faster than Shorty, a little slower than Maria. The bomb is pretty good, but it doesn't last that long. It does a lot of damage. It's wide. It doesn't last that long though. His homing is strong, but a little weaker than Shorty. And his shot is fine. But yeah, when it comes to these characters, it's like the homing. When it comes to Shorty, it's like the homing is the big thing, right? Okay, so I would pick between these mainly. And yeah, Tag T, you could absolutely pick him instead of Shorty. He's like a slightly weaker version of Shorty. It's a weaker bomb, primarily. So we're gonna we'll go with Shorty C for this. So I want to dispel a myth in this game that you have to score, because that's actually not true. Scoring in Batrider makes the game harder. Okay, let's stick with the 20 on the shot rate, as you can see that in the top left. I've bound my start key to a button that I press during the game. You can do that in order to cancel your when you have your aura out, to make sure you don't use a charge attack to cancel that. And you can use it for other things too. Okay, so my options are fully powered up. Okay, first boss, obviously nothing weird here. Just beat him up. Just shoot him to death. This is not going to be a score run, guys. I'm just going to show you how to once see the game. So we can just kill him. Nothing special here. Okay. So why is scoring not that important for survival? I mean, you gotta score to get more lives, right? Actually, you don't want to have more than 2 lives in stock in this game at any given point after your first death anyway. You don't want to extend from 2 to 3, basically. That gives you way too much rank, and that's bad. Here's a little safe spot. Just follow the boats there on the left. You can score to get more bombs. You get every suicide you do. You will get more suicides the more you score. Every suicide you do gets you an extra 1.5 bombs. But it's a bit counterproductive, because for the most part, scoring easy points per score relies on using bombs in the first place. So, and using those bombs per score is going to require a lot more bombs than the bombs you gain from the potential extra suicides you'll get. And other forms of scoring increases your rank, makes the game harder, it takes more time. It's all just a bunch of negatives, guys. Don't. For your first one CC, you can score if you think it's fun. I'm not gonna tell you not to score, because scoring is fun. But if you just want to beat the game, that's all you want to do, and you want to do it as easily as possible, you should mostly ignore score. There are a few exceptions though that I'll point out where you can go for it. Meddling, absolutely. You can do some meddling. I'm not really meddling right now, but you can do some meddling. That's not bad. But you might not want to do too much, and the reason is that you want to get special extends, preferably on the final stage. And you're gonna get that special extend by having dropped 3 extends. If any of this stuff is hard for you, this boss or anything, look at all the bombs I've got. You can use a bomb. No problem. The special extend is gonna bring you up to 3 lives from just one item. Okay, so this part I would advise you to bomb it because it is technically it is streaming, but it's streaming that has different timings, different points, and why risk the life when we have this many bombs, right? So normally here, you know, I actually think it's easier to just do the score strat for this opening here. that's what I always do, and I don't really tend to fail it. So I'm not very used to doing what I'm doing here, which can give you some big bullet walls if you're not careful. But we didn't get any, so it was fine. And Shorty is very strong, so he's gonna be dead very soon. See? Shorty is insane. Shorty with C. You can pick Shorty with B if you can't handle the low speed here, but yeah, Shorty with C. These trucks can give you bigger bombs if you kill them a bit faster at the front there, but look at my bombs, like I don't need the big bombs. So bomb items actually do give you a lot of rank, so getting too many bombs can actually, yeah. If you don't need the bombs, stop collecting the bomb items. You can't have more than 5 anyway. At that point, you might as well, you know, stop collecting them. We can stay here, and this will seal these bullets. It could be fired by those ground enemies. Okay, drop that extend. So start on the left here, and go over to the right. This is basically just kind of streaming back and forth, keeping an eye out for bullets that might get in your way. Same here, back and forth, back and forth. And since we are using Shorty, there's very limited number of extra bosses we can trigger, which for survival that's a good thing. Extra bosses make survival harder. We can get some bonus points here from auring the tail here at the start. And then we just shoot him to death. That laser goes towards you. It always goes towards you. And the point that, see, that was away from me, but it had already decided to go towards me before I went to the left of it. I was to the right of it when it first appeared. So that can be a little confusing. You might think it's not going towards you, but it actually is. It's just decided very fast. Okay, so this stage has a hidden extend, and you want to not get it. We are supposed to drop extends, because the whole point of this is to get a special extend near the end of the game that will help us deal with whatever lives we've lost up to that point and give us max resources. This part, you could bomb this. You could have bombed where I was right there, and that would have been a fine bomb to use. Now kill this tank, because if you let that tank live all the way to the end of the stage, you can trigger an extra life. And we don't want that. It's a lot harder to keep it alive than to kill. Just killing it is so much easier. So please just kill it. This thing will also give a big bomb item if you delay killing it up until it stops. But clearly we don't need bomb items, so we don't need to do that. Let's bomb this. Now that one is actually pretty easy to just stream back and forth, but I found that I had to micro dodge something there to pull it off, so just thought I'd use the bomb. I mean, we have so many already. Alright, so Sobut, stay in the middle. This boss is, for the most part, he's basically scripted, but depending on how fast you damage him, he might do something you wouldn't expect if you damage him, you know, less or more in another run, so keep that in mind. Like, he can cycle through his attacks at different timings. So now that he's done all this, we're gonna kind of be a bit farther away from him in a safe spot next time, over here. And he's dead. So the difficulty levels up once you get this far, and it will level up a lot when you get to the final boss. So that's what all these lives and bombs are for, and the reason I like the special extend. We start the stage, it's easy to get this far and just start the stage with the resources. And then it gets harder and harder. That's why it's so nice to start this stage without having, you know, gained much rank at all. We've hardly gained any rank. Sure, suiciding lives would remove rank, but gaining lives again would add rank again, so... This is a part you can bomb, especially if you want to keep your medal chain. But we didn't need to... Oh! Oops. I pressed X too late. Okay, here's a safe spot we can use the iframes from dying to go in here. That's fine. All of this is fine. We're still gonna drop the next extend and go for a special extend. You can get a you can get a big bomb from that by killing all the parts of the tank before killing the tank. Remember those big laser enemies there, and remember to go to the right here to deal with this stuff. What this one does could be random. It shows a specific pattern there that it might not always use. Could do different patterns too. So for this part, I would recommend you to start to the left and to stream to the right, and then to restream after 2 volleys. 1, 2, restream. Okay, we got some RNG there from the spread bullets, the blue spread bullets to be precise, not the yellow ones, those are aimed. But the blue spread bullets there gave me some RNG I didn't like. So always be prepared to bomb that part as well for survival. Doesn't hurt. We can collect this, because we're not at max. Alright, here, we can just stay here. I did collect the medal, but I didn't need to do that. Alright, so there's some score bombs coming up. Stream, stream, stream. And you want to use these. I only used one. You could use two to be extra sure you get all the score, but yeah. Hardly necessary. I would advise to bomb this part as well. Let's do it twice to collect that medal. Alright, time for Grubby. So when you don't have piercing, these 8 turrets in the top middle there are kind of a nuisance, and you want to get rid of them. They're dead. Good. Then everything's fine. Use this safe spot here. Either to the left or to the right of the middle. Okay, stream. This is streaming. Okay, this is spinning. And yeah, these RNG turrets we bomb. Just bomb this boss. These RNG turrets will lead to random extra attacks. This one's a flamethrower. Okay, there's a safe spot here. The flamethrower needs to be spinned around, but it died before I needed to do it. And he's dead. With one bomb, he died extremely fast. Shorty is an absolute insane powerhouse. Okay, watch out for the bad visibility at the start here. Now, ideally, you would actually have a bit more score here. You can do some metal chaining on the earlier stages to get that score, which I ignored, which wasn't that smart. I'll have to get the score on this level instead to get the special extend. Here's a safe spot here in the middle. And it stops working once those turrets start firing bullets. But it works for the lasers at the start. So what we want to get to 6 million points to get the special extent. So doing a little bit more scoring than I did, in the form of a metal chaining primarily, or like using some bombs on the very first stage, you would time that 6 million extend at a nice point in this stage. Now okay, I'm gonna bomb to collect that medal. Now I'm gonna need to get some medals to get that one, which is fine, but it might not be fine for you. So yeah, do a little bit of. Okay, never mind. I dropped the chain. Oh yeah, those green things are streaming, and you can scroll them off screen and avoid killing some of them as well. Okay, so you kill these right during the fire animation to spawn a bomb item, but it is a bit tricky, so... Didn't get any of them so far. I think that's easier to do with characters that are have more of a focused shot type. I got one there. Okay, so here comes some tricky parts that I like to do this kind of macro style. Bold sweeps, as opposed to small sweeps. But that's because I'm used to playing carpet, and carpet doesn't have any spread, so you kind of need to do that with carpet. Bomb to get some medals. And another bomb item. Okay, we're gonna want to die pretty soon so that we can extend up to the max. Oh, I dropped another medal. It seems like I'm gonna want to die on a stationary discharge, actually. I would advise you to get the extend drop somewhere on the stage instead, so yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't show that. It's me, I kind of misremembered the amount of score you wanna have on the other stages. Just getting a couple of 100k more or 500,000 more would have been absolutely fine, and it's super easy to get that, by the way. Just don't completely ignore medals like I did or something. Okay, so let's get to the top here and seal the bullets. Actually, they're lasers, so we can do this and just kind of spin around the top like this. Although it could fail. All right, so start by auring at the start here, and then start shooting, and then stream a little bit to the right like this, and then bomb. And then move away like this, and stream these bullets like this. And then when you're at the top, you can aura the boss. And we want to die to get the special extend. And I'm sorry I had to die in such an ugly way. You wouldn't normally do this on this boss here like this. You would normally have begin your last life on the stage portion. That would be a lot simpler, but I trust that I knew how to time my death there. Now we're gonna get an extend drop. Collect it. Special extend. We now have max lives, and we do not get the extra rank you normally get from doing that. Time to make sure we're fully powered up. We are. Okay, time for the boss. So this boss is gonna be the main difficult part of a 1cc run, and that's what is so good about the special extends. It starts you with resources. This boss is very RNG based. Start by spinning that laser to the left, and then right, and then left, and then right, and so on and so on. And if you kill this boss at a bad time, which I might, because I don't normally use shorty, it can spin and kill you. It can keep spinning while the boss goes to the next phase and just kill you. So will I? Can I kill him? Is he gonna die soon? Okay, good. So what happens here is RNG, and we're getting one of the harder patterns you can get, but it's low rank, and I don't have much issues with this. Oop. Never mind, I bombed. But yeah, I would advise you to use you're supposed to use up all your bombs and your lives on this boss anyway. Like, why not? What else? There's just nothing left after this. Here, these pods need to die, right? So take care of those pods. And when you've taken care of one, you can scroll the other one off screen. There's one. Okay, scroll the other one off screen. It can still spawn lightsabers on you when it's off screen. So let's just hope that it doesn't do that RNG. Let's use another bomb just to take care of that pod. So it's dead. There it is. It's dead. And the boss is dead. So the main boss there, outside of the pods, had more tricks up its sleeve. It has two different kinds of laser attacks. One that's aimed, so that you want to just kind of stream away from it, and one where the lasers all are all telegraphed according to like turrets you can see on the boss, which could trip you up a little bit more. So it's good to get used to both of those in case you have to dodge them. It can use that homing green laser thing you saw. It can combine these. It can combine the homing green laser thing with destructible bullets. That can be kind of a pain, but Shorty can usually get through that just fine. And the middle phase there, where it used the yellow bullets, and then it started using some like fuzzy big blue things. It can do a lot. The boss can do a lot of different things there, and you basically whatever you get is going to decide how hard it's going to be, because the difficulty can range from non-existent to extremely hard. Like if it combines the yellow bullets with the green lasers, is the hardest pattern it can use. And if it just gives you destructible bullets like lightsabers and the other destructible bullets, You don't have to dodge anything, and you just get extra points. And so, yeah, you don't know what you're gonna get. Yep, I hope that shows why I have a lot of faith in the special extent. If you have a lot of issues not dying, like getting game overs before you can even get to the special extent, then honestly I don't think that the kind of the normal way to collect to suicide to the normal way is to suicide to your last life and then collect and extend every 1.5 million points, because that's when the game drops them. So suicide to your from 2 lives to 1 before that drop happens every time. Because if you don't do that, you get way too much rank, which is bad. I don't have much faith in that. So if we did that this run, for example, we would have had to suicide 6 times. No, sorry, 4 times. 4 times for 6 million. So compared to what we did, that would have been 3 extra deaths. So compared to what we did, that would have given us 4.5 more bombs. That's nice. But it would also always leave us on 2 or 1 lives. You're gonna want to suicide down to 1 life before you get to 1.5 million extend. That's gonna happen on like stage 2 or 3. So that's why I don't have that much faith in this strategy. You're gonna have to suicide to low lives anyway, so if you're having trouble with game overs, I don't think that strategy is gonna be helpful, and it is certainly going to make it way harder to do that towards the end of the game, which for anyone who's trying to 1cc this game, you're gonna find that it is towards the end of the game where you know your runs are gonna start to end. Practicing Grubby is the stage 6 boss. Practicing Grubby is a good idea. You know Grubby's patterns, you know the safe spots. Practicing Sobut, so you know the safe spots. Yeah, just knowing some safe spots, that's a good idea. Knowing how to handle the stationary phase of discharge, that's the final boss. When you're aura at the start and stream the bullets and kill him with aura. Absolutely make sure you know how to do that. Either by trying it with save states or just doing full runs with continues to try it out. Either way works, you know, you don't need... nothing I did here is something you need to learn with save states. It's all extremely simple things. You can just kind of copy... You can just watch the video and kind of copy what I did. And if you're messing it up, you can try a couple more times. You'll probably get it down in a couple of tries, honestly. There's nothing complicated here. And yeah, I decided to show it with Shorty, because I think Shorty is the top tier. Shorty C, to be precise, for the extra added strength. As you could see, the time it took for me to kill things was almost non-existent, and that's because I picked C type. B type would perform good too, but slightly worse. And there were no points. There were like no points where I died because of low speed. Although there were a couple of points where I decided to bomb, where higher speed would have let me to easily navigate the situation. The lower speed made it hard to do, so I decided to use the bomb for safety. I'll admit that. So I'm not saying that lower speed is gonna make everything just as easy. It can feel a little harder if you're very slow, but only in specific circumstances where you have to do something that higher speed would make easier. And in a 1cc run, there's very few instances like that. Alright, thank you for watching, and I hope you can 1cc the game thanks to my advice.